Hello and welcome to this little Flosstube Extra. If you've seen episode 1 and 2, thank you so much for watching, for commenting, for liking, for subscribing, for viewing other videos. It really means so much to me. And now I'm back with episode number 3. Now, if you haven't been here before, I purchased over 80 magazines on Vinted last week, the very, very early issues of Cross Stitcher magazine. And so I've got issues 1 to 60, maybe 1 or 2 missing in between. And I'm going through them 10 at a time to see what we were all stitching way back in the 19th century. No, not the 19th century, but the 1900s. It was the 20th century, but the 1900s. And it has been quite eye-opening. I have only sorted them into numerical order. I haven't gone through them myself, so I am seeing them for the first time, just as you are. So let's get on with episode number 3. So I've switched to the overhead camera and we will get started. Now I watched back episodes 1 and 2 and it looks like I'm throwing these from a great height. I'm literally just sliding them across. But I think it's the way it comes across. It's as if I'm launching them from above. But I'm not. I'm doing it this way. So let's have a look. So here we have Cross Stitcher issue 21, which was in August 1994. I was very, very heavily pregnant at that time. My second baby was born at the end of September 1994. So yeah, we had a bit of a bump then. So here we are. We've got a lot of these magazines have still got the kits attached, which is amazing. So we've got a little camel kit there. This is stunning, isn't it? Here we go. So the adverts are starting to get more colourful. I noticed in the first 20 magazines that the charts were still in black and white, and I think that carried on for quite a while before they started doing colour charts. So here we have some readers' pages, some interesting bits and bobs, and here's all the Egyptian designs. How striking is that? That is just gorgeous. And I don't even think it's that big a size. I won't show the chart. 75 by 55, so that would be quite a quick stitch. Mind you, lots of fractionals and an unbelievable amount of backstitch. Every single one of these lines were backstitched. I think we went backstitch crazy back in the 90s. So, we'll cover that. Some more readers' stories. I always used to love just getting a cup of tea and reading through all the letters and interesting little stitchy stories. Again, look at all these. These are all stores, because I've been having a look and there's no sign of any websites or any emails. We're still got faxes, so everything was still very much cross-stitch stores, which are now just a distant memory. So we've got some little baby designs to put on bibs and towels. More stitchy tails. More kind of themed kits and where to get them. Now we've got colourful kingfishers. That's your kind of standard kingfisher that I think we'll all recognise, but we've got a few more. There's a green kingfisher, a belted kingfisher, a river kingfisher, and a sacred kingfisher. He's the sacred one. Lovely. A lot of people love stitching birds. Little miniature samplers, ideal for Sampler September. And we've got some hints and tips in the best way to do things. And then we've got some colourful charts, which was a design library. Looks like holidays. And then a standard feature was wise words. This is stitching clubs. Remember when we all had clubs and we all got together? Now everything's online. And here we have, it looks like mostly children. I think it is all just children. Monday's Child. Oh, it is. It's one for every day of the week. Maybe if I read a bit further, I would know this. And subscription. Got lovely elegant designs. We've had previous ones, 18, 19, 20. On a subscription. The Stitcher stores, all the recommendations where to get things. Oh, how times have changed. And look at all these adverts. I mean, these were all stitching stores. Actual brick and mortar places you can go. Memory Lane, 1973. Oh my. 1973. And there's a lovely little sampler there. Advertising other magazines. I think we got a burst of magazines at the time, and then I think we seemed to lose a lot of them during the pandemic years. Chart Finder, they go in for pages, which I won't bore you with. There's little Ada Cotton. There are only 120 stitching days left till Christmas. And she's in the bath, fretting about her stitching. And there's the horoscopes. Oh, well, we do a new horoscope since we're in a new number. Now, where are we? Virgo. August will be a month of reckoning for many of you. Recently, you have been preoccupied with past disappointments and betrayals. So much dwelling on the past will now be replaced by powerful desire to rejuvenate your career. Nope, I'm having a baby. Show the world that you have something to offer. Your creative streak will shine through. Any financial problems will be dealt with more shrewdly this month. Virgos who are fascinated by antiques and history, okay, more appropriate now, will make new friends through their interest. Now that's probably quite true for now, because I have had a lot more subscribers, more contact by doing these vintage magazines, so, you know, maybe there's a lot to be said. So there we go. Number 1 is done. Number 2, I'll try and do it more gentle, because I know watching it back it looks horrific. And again, we've got a little kit attached. And I noticed going through the magazines as we've kind of got into the next set of 10 that the designs are definitely improving. Not that they were horrendous before, but I think they're getting just nicer. Just definitely more larger designs, more interesting designs. I mean, these brambles are beaded and look absolutely stunning. And the strawberries. And you've got this little family of mice on the little placemat there. So yeah, I definitely think the quality of the charts was improving. Some mermaids and seashells. And so many of these designs are so relevant today. Oh, now, when I say they're improving, look, we're getting quite quirky now. This is Duck Whittington. And this one is Roast Duck. He's sunbathing. And then we've got Duck à l'Orange. Yeah, so getting quite quirky with the designs now, which is good. Some pussycats, very, very popular subject. And then we've got some hobbies. Wise words again. Little floral orchid there. Got some food, glorious food for a banana split. Chocolate chippers. Looks like a big ice cream sundae. I mean, look at the colour of these charts. That would just drive my eyes up the wall. I don't know if they were trialling doing it on a different colour, because black and white charts are not that easy to read either if they're quite small, but that colour is just, there must have been a reason for it. Stitching books, recommendations, again all your adverts. I've noticed we get to the last 10 pages and there's really not an awful lot more stitching. We get a lot more these days. But oh, we've got memory lane to go. When are we in? 1980. Let's see what chart we've got. Oh no, 1960. So if that's your era, I've got this. I bought this on Vinted just the other week. I didn't think it was as old as that, but there we have it. £3.95. I don't think I paid that much for it. Ada cotton and the horoscopes, and then ready cut crafts. They were a big name back then. Cross stitcher number 23, and we've got an autumn leaves kit. That's lovely. Comes with everything attached. So I've been pinching all these needles, adding them to my collection. And we've got a little stitcher's guide there. So the cover kits were always really good. I used to love the cover kits. Some more recommendations. And then we've got some lovely little cottage designs. And they're back on white paper again, which I'm pleased to see. Story about samplers, and then we've got all the readers' letters. If anyone out there is written in, please let me know and we'll see if we can find it. I have most of the issues from 1 to 60, so let me know if you ever wrote in. Working with silk gauze is easy. Really? I don't think so. Oh, imagine making something as delicate as that. How pretty. Through the arch. More book recommendations, although they look quite similar to last month, so I don't know whether it's the same advert. Then we have a lovely little carousel and the rocking horse and the Jack in the Box. Stitching tales. And design library was, oh, we've got some horoscopes, wise words, more floss, no loss, Madeira threads. You don't really hear much about people using Madeira threads. We've got some small Christmas designs. I've never stitched with Madeira threads. A little Scotty dog. And more nautical themes, seaside themes. Quite good for the aquatic theme for August. Memory Lane. Doing something. Memory Lane 1951. And there's a little 1951 sampler. Club directory, more clubs opening up. I think the magazines definitely helped bring people together. Now we've got Flosstube, which has really opened up a whole world to people. You can connect with people all over the place. I know a lot of people do stitching because they're housebound or illnesses or whatever reason, and they've just connected with so many people all over the world. I'm the same. I don't go out much for one reason or another, but I feel like I've always got somebody at the end of the line. Here we are. And apologies for the squeaky chair. That's probably as old as these magazines. Little Christmas tree kit on this one. It's Ada. Sleeping Beauty. Nora Corbett. Still so popular to this day. We all love a Nora Corbett. Little Christmas decorations. And the letters. Oh, 24 days to go. An advent calendar. That looks like plastic canvas. We have some, well, that must be for behind the advent calendar. Remember when advent calendars were really simple? Just a little picture you got. Now you can get them for hundreds of pounds. A Weekend with Joe Verso. Many people of my generation will remember Joe Verso and how you started with samplers I've actually been back onto Vinted to look for some Joe Verso books to add to my collection. I probably had them once upon a time and now I want them back again. More Christmas designs for cards. A new craft magazine. Some festive designs. Please remember that you can slow down or speed up this video depending on what you want to look at. Computer charting. Now we're starting to get a bit technical. Remember the days where they used to design them on paper. Some charts, you may even have some charts where you can tell every single mark has been drawn by pencil. Lest we forget. Oh, now we've got some quirky designs. We've got sheep shape. No, court sheep. I was reading sheep shape up here. So court sheep. Last month it was ducks, and we've got sheep dip. He took his little coat off, his little woolly coat off, having a bath. Now is it cross stitch Sarah that loves a sheep? Sheep shape. Oh, we've got a sheep shape. Square. That's sheep shape. Wouldn't it be great if, like sheep, you can just get rid of all your extra layers? Be super skinny at summer. So 1935, the year of the 39 steps. Look, next month, the little nutcrackers. I hope I have that issue. I love nutcrackers. And again, more adverts. The back of the magazines were just filled with adverts, which was great if you were looking for somewhere to go, or imagine you were going on holiday and you wanted to find the needlecraft store. There was always one. Every town had one. Issue number 25. He's quite lovely. Little Robin kit. Another little Ada kit. Oh, look, how many of us have a stash looking like that? Getting very technical with the glasses. Now you can get them with lights on them. Some jolly, jolly Santas. So brighter, more colourful charts coming in, which is good. Readers' letters. Lovely kind of bell pull. All these people with their stitching. And we have the bands. Create your own cards. And there's more card designs. Oh, I see nutcrackers. How cute are they? I love these little dudes. Let's see if we can get even closer for you. Look how cute they are. Short and stubby. Well, I may have to stitch one of those. If you've enjoyed these Flosstube Extras and you're quite new to watching me, please watch my other Flosstubes where I talk about all my whips and incidents and all sorts. Wise words. How can you soar like an eagle when you fly with turkeys? Oh, a giggle a day keeps the glums away. So this was readers that were sending these in. The clothes they used to wear. Now, I very recently watched Downton Abbey, I think in January. I had never ever watched it. I knew of it, obviously, but I'd never ever settled down to watch it. And I binge watched the entire season, the entire however many seasons and movies and everything, and I absolutely loved it. Crazy creatures. So this is when we've started to get some Disney designs come in, Looney Tunes. Got 1965 in memory lane, and it is a 1965. Help. The Beatles. More chart finders and recommendations. The chart finders in the earlier issues, remember, they were all the lines, pages and pages. So now we're getting a lot more visual. I had that book, may still have that book actually. Impossible to think that it was 30 years ago. Adverts. Almost finished crossword. Now I feel like this may be where I discovered Cross Stitcher, because I recognise this as if it was about 10 years ago. Definitely recognise that. That needs to be made into a biscornu. If you've not watched my last Flosstube, please do. But I've discovered how gorgeous biscornus are, and I think I might, well, maybe not. Okay, what have we got there? Even weave. I'm an Ada Stitcher, so this might be a good time to have a little go at even weave. But I definitely recognise this magazine. You can, if you've watched the first 2 episodes, you can see how the magazine is changing. The layout, the colours, the charting, the designs. Lovely little squirrel there, and there we have Forever Friends. So I think the charting companies started looking for more kind of brand names, as it were. These are Jacobean jewels. Very William Morris. Frame it yourself. So tips on framing and lacing. Look at that. I'll move that more focused. There's no charts there, so freeze frame and get some tips on framing. Advertising. Oh, these are lovely. I recognise these. Jungle designs. Good old wise words. Design library. Oh, we're going straight into the charts. Comforting craft work. So lovely big stories about how craft has helped people and communities. And here we go, the clothes we used to wear. Right up to 1992. I wonder if they've done it in recent times to kind of bring it up again. Wildlife Wonders being recommended this time. And another Through the Arch one. And look, some of the adverts are starting to get a bit more colour rather than just pages and pages of black and white. And now we've got a whole page dedicated to the clubs, because they really took off because of the magazines, I think, and people being able to communicate more. Right, so what was that one? That was issue number 26. Let's get ready for some more. So here we have episode issue number 27. Definitely recognise this. So because I was at home with the baby, I was obviously stitching more. I had just finished college. Some lovely blue designs. It's amazing that time hasn't really changed the designs. You know, a lot of us still like stitching vintage designs, and the more vintage the better. So all the charts in here really will stand the test of time. Kids getting involved in stitching. And we have little mementos of the day. I stitched quite a few wedding samplers and baby samplers, but I don't think you really see that much of those just now. Oh, look at this, look at the back stitching in there. That is dedication for you. Well done, Hilary. And the second part of the Woodland Friends, we've got little hedgehog. Shopping around, so spotlight on shops, and then we've got vintage car. And then wedding bells is the theme for the recommendations this month. Some Valentine designs. Needlecraft fair at the Olympia. Did anyone ever go? Tell me what your memories are. I love reading all the comments, and I do answer every comment. I really enjoy reading them. Through the Arch. This must be the final bit of Through the Arch. And where are we? Warkworth Castle in Northumbria. Recommendation for stitching books. Wise words. Can't miss the wise words. And all these little booklets. Vinted is a great place to find some real vintage designs. I mean, it's horrible to say they're vintage because I remember them as if they were just last week. But they are vintage, so I suck it up. Times have moved on. I mentioned in, I think it was episode 1, about the competitions and how some of them had been cut out, and I wondered if the lady that sold these to me ever won, and she contacted me through Vinted and said no, she didn't. So that was lovely. I love that she's watching these and she's still able to enjoy cross stitch in some form, even if it is just through our eyes. Cross stitch designer gold. I keep looking to see if I have any websites coming in. And there we have episode issue number 28, and a lovely little needle case kit. Pretty sure I've stitched this once before. Need to do it again. So stay tuned for my future floss tubes. I'm going to see if I can pick some designs from some of these early magazines and stitch them up. Breathe new life into them. This box was lovely. I remember seeing this box, but it was so expensive to buy these woodworked things. I always wanted a footstool. Do we have a foot? Yeah, we have a footstool. Or was that a pincushion? I'm sure you used to get big footstools, but they were just so expensive. Veteran Motors. And here we have your standard kind of stand that I think we probably all had back in the day. Some lovely yellow flowers. More nautical. Seems to always be a bit of nautical. Stories about samplers from way back when. Coming to the Ver. Jo Verso, I mean, she was just the biggest name then. Jo Verso, Jane Greenough, they were the ones I remember from my early stitching days. Got this little fox. sadly Joe Verso passed away before her time. I think it was a car accident. I remember the news. Garden Fiesta. Saying of the month. You know you've reached middle age when your broad mind changes places with your narrow waist. So very true. Favourite store? Again, look, spotlights on stores. Oh, sad days. Used to love rummaging around the stores. See how many of these books I recognise. Oh, I may have this one. I definitely have some of the Barbara Batts ones. Ada Cotton. Oh, she's up to her. We haven't seen you here for ages, Ada. Where did you get that leotard? Just stitched her leotard. Oh my goodness, I'd rather be stitching than doing yoga. Oh dear. And here we have issue 29. And I recognise this bookmark. I have probably stitched this. Oh, and someone has already stitched this one too. That's okay. The chart will be inside. And try and get centred again. Stories. How pretty. Very delicate designs. Sticky tails. And here we have the last in this little collection. This is a lovely little collection actually. It's so nice grouped together. Noah's Ark, Joe Verso's Noah's Ark. I think I always wanted to stitch this because I did have two wee ones at the time. But you know, I had two wee ones at the time, that was never happening. What was this? April 95. Yes, so I had a 6-month-old and a 5-year-old. And this would have been lovely. You had little pockets to put the animals in to match them up, but there's no way I would have been able to stitch that and then let kids get their grubby little paws on it. Here we have some wedding anniversaries. Oh, I remember this. I had little embellishments and how to finish them all off. Nope, big advert in the middle. Advertising must have been the way to earn income. And a little kneeler. Probably a plastic canvas, I think, to make it more firm. Or a cushion. Nope, some froggy designs. I do have a whole bundle of cross-stitch collection, so I'll do a separate video with those. And I also have a bundle of quick and easy cross-stitch. So I'll do another one with those if you enjoyed them. I know one of my viewers loved quick and easy cross-stitch, so I have got a little bundle to go through. But please let me know your memories, let me know your thoughts. If you've enjoyed watching these, if you're stitching along while I'm going through these magazines. I know I love watching Flosstubers and stitch along with them. Ada, £6 per metre. Now, the last time there was an advert for DMC for 25p, and I put it into a kind of a cost calculator of what it would be valued at now, 25p. So 57p is what it came out with for now. So why are we paying more than double that for DMC? Yeah, 35p a skein there, which was quite a big jump from only, you know, 10 issues ago. But yeah, it's definitely more than twice the actual price, I think. I suppose costs of everything have gone up. There we go. And the last one in this set, this is the 20s. We've got a little butterfly kit. The waste canvas is gone from this, but I'm sure I have some. So we'll see if we can stitch a butterfly on something. I have so many whips and projects and things to do, and these magazines are just giving me so many more. But I do aim to stitch a few of the little things to show in future floss tubes. I've already got one, believe it or not, that I've stitched in the past few days. Some lovely little dainty flowers. And all the letters. And things to decorate your bags and denim jacket with. I remember that. I think my kids had this. This was a doll that you got at the Early Learning Centre, and you can get all sorts of things to dress them up with, to make them explorers and nurses and all sorts. And we've got some perforated paper. Anchor seems to be a bigger name than DMC. Trend-setting truckers. That's quite a common hobby for truckers to do. You know, they've got kind of the evenings to get through on their own in a truck, so quite a relaxing way. Vintage fisherman. Lemonade and a few tears. Now I noticed in the last few we didn't have a through the ages, so we've obviously moved past that now. But we have a VE Day sampler. Some birthday designs. Designing is easy. Okay, if you say so. Grape expectations. Oh look, it's like 4 stitches at a time to kind of enlarge it, to make the cushion. Sporty kits. The club page. Very much a community hobby, and still is, albeit online. Knitting. I did an awful lot of knitting back in the days as well. But if you see anything you want me to highlight or showcase or let you know more information about, just give me a shout. Or if you're looking for a particular chart, I'll see if I can help you find it somewhere. But there we go. Let's pop back to the other camera. So I hope you enjoyed that little trip down memory lane. If there's anything you want clarity on, anything you want me to show you in more detail, you know, just drop me a line on Instagram under the same name, or you can leave me a comment here, or leave me a comment anyway. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I've got the next little pile ready to go, so I'll get that filmed for another episode. I honestly thought I was going to be able to do all 60 magazines in 1.5 hour shot, but yeah, that didn't work. Anyway, I shall see you all soon.